Welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me, as always, is Ben Slinger.
G'day.
So I believe you're finally in VR.
Currently, as we speak, following your lead from when you got your VR, and I'm podcasting from VR. No,
have you actually checked your mic to make sure that you're not actually recording in the Rift audio?
Yeah, I don't record on the same computer that my Rift is plugged into, so I won't have that problem. It's true. I finally got my Rift working. We've been having some fun.
That's why the episode was so late, because Ben's been playing too much VR without editing the podcast. Naughty boy.
Yeah, that's right. No, actually, that's not right. It's late because, unfortunately, my 4-year-old son crashed his bike and broke his arm, so...
dude, that happened on Monday.
Yeah.
The episode should have been finished by Sunday.
That's true. But I planned to get the edit done on Monday, and in fact, I was editing when it happened.
It's still too late.
No, the release is on Monday. It's fine.
No, it released on Wednesday, the day that we record. So we're recording on the day that Ben finally finished the edit and sent it out.
It's true. I was playing a bit of VR over the weekend. We've been having fun with that. Doing some Payday 2 was fun, and some from other songs. So, but anyway, you folks don't want to hear about all that shit.
Well, maybe if you listen to one of our favorite podcasts, Reset, Ben, what have you been playing?
That's not our podcast.
It's my favorite segment from them because I like going, ooh, I haven't played that. Tell our listeners what is going to go on today.
Yes, so we are going to play some Click Pitch, and this is a game where each of us have a random word generator in front of us, and on the count of 3, 2, 1, click, we'll get a new word, mash them together, and come up with a game design. Shall we begin?
Yes, 3, 2, 1, click.
Development.
Quality. So it's literally any game that we want as long as there's quality involved in the development.
Well, maybe it's development more like from a childhood development sort of view, like something growing up and developing.
Oh, see, I was thinking that we just choose a game studio that we'd love to create, that create quality content that we'd like to see them create a certain type of game that maybe they normally wouldn't create.
All right.
So we can always go in that direction too.
Let's do something that we're stealing from another podcast, where we both. So you come up with a game company, and I'll come up with a genre.
Yep.
And then we'll come up with what that game company would make with that genre.
Okay.
All right. 3. Have you got one?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Point and click adventure. Okay.
Monkey Island. Okay. Awesome. Quality. So that's how it will work.
We'll try that again.
Hang on. Let me think of another one because I was like, God damn it.
That's really funny.
Okay. Got one.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Driving game. Okay. So Rocksteady, the makers of the Batman games, right?
Batman Arkham games, yep.
Doing a driving game. And I'm talking sort of a Burnout or a Gran Turismo or something. I don't know.
Or
Need for Speed.
Even go back to like the old Driver franchise.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a bit more. Yeah, that'd be a bit more. Because look, the Batman games, high quality, story based, beat 'em ups mostly, sort of mostly open world, lots of Easter eggs. I don't know, what else are they sort of known for in those games? Have they even done anything else except the Batman games?
I don't think so, which is why I was sort of thinking, they do quality stuff, but they're only really known for like the Batman games. So therefore I'm like, I'd like to see them do something else.
So are we making a Batman racing game?
No, I think staying away from Batman.
All right.
We know that they can do good stories, so maybe you're an up and coming driver within like a racing company or something like that, and you've sort of got you're doing street races and that sort of stuff.
Okay,
but
so the sort of storylines that they need for speed games try to shove in there
done by someone who can actually
do stories. I don't know. I feel like that part of Rocksteady's quality comes from the way that they do handle an existing franchise. So let's stay away from Batman, but let's come up with a driving game in an existing franchise that they can handle, that they'll like.
Speed Racer.
Speed Racer? I don't know anything about Speed Racer, though. And it doesn't necessarily have to be centered around driving. The franchise itself.
Voltron.
Why are you going to like old Japanese anime? It's weird. It's not where my mind goes at all.
It actually wasn't going to Line Force Voltron either. It was going to the Vehicle Force Voltron with like the 22 fucking vehicles that come together to make Voltron.
Right.
The one that no one actually knew about.
All right.
Okay.
Something with some cool vehicles, but that isn't necessarily based around vehicles.
Fast and the Furious.
Okay. I feel like it needs to be something with strong characters, though. I don't know any of their names.
Dominic Toretto.
Sure. What about something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I feel like that'd work well in their engine.
Okay, yep. But driving has to be the majority focus of it.
Yeah,
so,
they're driving. So they've got that van.
The turtle van.
From the 80s or 90s cartoon. 90s, I guess. What other... can you drive the Technodrome?
Yeah, you got the Technodrome.
Is it to scale?
You got like the digger that, that brings up the Foot Clan each time.
Right, yes. Yep.
You've got the blimp. Mm-hmm. That was seen in like one or two
So this
episodes.
is kind of... we're almost looking at like a Diddy Kong Racing mixture of vehicles here, but dark and moody and lots of cool lighting and stuff.
Oh, yeah, because, basically the Turtles are only going to be coming out at night, so you get that. Remember when Grand Theft Auto 2 first came out, and the one thing about that game was, even though it was an over-the-top view, they had amazing lighting in it, because they actually, got DirectX for the first time and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because that was like, the world was 3D.
3D, it had lots of, bloom and all that sort of stuff, but it looked so vibrant. So I want to see that sort of 80s neonish over the top driving, basically.
Right. But
different parts of it, you can play Casey Jones, you can play
April O'Neil in the news van. You can play,
and it's just a whole heap of vignettes.
You can play
doing
Shredder
the racing parts
in his big. What are those fucking corn shredding things? That's what he drives, right?
You've just got
combine harvester. Shredder in his combine harvester.
There's one mission in which he's just ploughing a field.
Totally, that's his day job, man. Splinter in his Ratmobile. I don't know.
He's just in like a hamster wheel.
Yes. Perfect. What other dumb characters are there in fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? What did Bebop and Rocksteady... Well, I just realized that this is perfect because there's a character called Rocksteady in the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So there's a good tie-in there for the studio.
That is pretty awesome. So I think we've talked about this before. Maybe not in this podcast, maybe in our previous podcast.
Okay.
But back when the toys got released, I'm thinking about the blimp now.
Okay.
There was a character that was released for the toy line.
Oh,
they actually said that this character, which was like a duck, was the pilot of the blimp.
Yeah.
I bought it because I had the blimp. I tried putting the toy into the blimp, and guess what? He was actually too tall to fit in the blimp because it turns out that they'd basically created this character just for the toy line. He was never in the TV show, and they didn't actually think about the idea of maybe kids will try to put him into the blimp.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this character who was supposedly the pilot of the blimp who would never fit in it.
So are you saying then that this should be an Easter egg?
This is an Easter egg in
where you can choose, like you select your character. And the duck is one of the unlockable characters. Once you've unlocked it, you select that duck, and then you literally can't. You literally
fly
can't
the blimp.
No, I'm saying you literally can't select any vehicle because he doesn't fit in any of them. So you can't actually use
all the bad memories.
Yeah, well, all right.
But I told you you'd remember my story, but most of you haven't listened to Two Sweary Dads, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, let's click again. I don't think we're getting anywhere with that.
3 to 1.
Although that's kind of a cool idea for a new segment. Anyway.
It is.
Compressing.
Unfortunate.
Oh, an unfortunate compressing.
No. Oh, crap.
Have you got something? What do
My
you
mind just went to that scene in Silicon Valley.
Which one? Not from the latest season. I haven't watched it yet.
No. I think of compression, and I think of the compression algorithm and an unfortunate problem.
I don't think we'll attempt a Silicon Valley tie-in game where all you do is masturbate multiple people at once. Those who haven't watched Silicon Valley are now wondering what the fuck that show is about.
And we'll leave it right there. Okay, unfortunate.
Maybe it's something to do with like compressed air. Maybe it's a diving game. I haven't done much underwater stuff.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of... Okay, go on.
It's kind of going into Subnautica territory. I was thinking that you're going cave spelunking and you have an unfortunate incident and you've got only X amount of air left.
Right.
And basically it's a roguelike game.
Okay.
So you've got to try and get out within a time limit.
Ooh, so roguelike made me think of Spelunky, and that's just taking me to... All I'm taking from that really is like a side-on view platformer sort of thing, procedurally generated platformer. That could be interesting.
But you're a scuba diver.
Yeah, well, that could be interesting with a lot of water mechanics. And maybe like not caves. Maybe you're in a boat or something, or some sort of underwater structure, so that you can deal with things like pressure between, like, one room fills up and so you need to maybe you get tools to determine the pressure on a door, so you can tell if you open that door that it's just going to start filling this room up, or ways to, I don't know, some areas have airlocks between them or something, so that you can get through without filling up the other room, or I don't know, different things to make your way through this maze of.
So what you're actually doing is searching like shipwrecks.
Yeah.
Of like current day sort of ships that have maybe airlocks and that sort of stuff. So you've got to be very careful on how you open this up, and you close this door to sort of repressurize, and that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. I actually tried to write a game kind of like this once, with like figuring out how to like mathematically figure out the pressure between two different rooms and how full of water a room should be, and then my math just failed me and I stopped. But now we get to do it in click pitch form. Yeah, so I don't know where.
We'll never touch it again.
Yeah, totally. Where, what other, so what's the aim? Is the aim to escape then? Like, you find yourself in the bowels of this ship when something happens and it starts filling up with water, and now you just have to escape. Maybe with as many artifacts as you can get or something.
Yeah, as much loot as you can sort of muster.
Yeah.
But you've only got X amount of time left, judged by some sort of O2 meter. Or the only thing that you can tell is the fact that he starts yawning a lot, showing that there's too much
carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. Yeah.
Well, maybe one of the tools you can get is a like oxygen meter, and so you know that in this room, which hasn't filled up with water yet, like you've got 30% oxygen left, so you can hang around for a bit longer if you need to. But yeah, otherwise you have to wait until you get outward signs of just passing out. So I'm thinking maybe biggish rooms with some platforming challenges between them. Like, so part of the challenge is you reach a room and, you know, it hasn't filled up with water yet. The only exits or some of the exits which you might need to go out from are kind of up high on the next level, and, you know, the stairs or whatever have collapsed. And so there's a platforming challenge, but obviously you've got a time limit in there with the oxygen. You've got a time limit based on the rest of the ship and what is filled with water. Like, the doors around, if there's water surrounding this room, like, it might burst in and start filling up with water, and then that obviously adds to the challenge.
I like the idea that sometimes you have to, like, you may come across a room that, if you pressurize, but you don't check out the fact that the wall behind you actually is rather rusted. So you have to, like, reinforce the wall to it before you can actually repressurize.
Yeah, well,
that's
it. You could. I hadn't even thought of. Maybe you have ways to pump water out of places. I guess it's because presumably you've also got scuba tanks. So obviously, if a room fills up with water, it's not the end of the world. You can swim around for a while, but you've got a limited amount of that as well. Maybe you can find places to fill it up at different times. I'm sort of trying to think what that cycle of the roguelike is. Like, how long is a full sort of playthrough, and what are you trying to do? I mean, obviously, if you're trying to escape, that's fine. But, like, what are you getting each time? Are you unlocking different tools? Do you have weapons? Is there combat in here? Like,
I think what you've got is you've got basically one life, and your goal is to maybe make a certain amount of money.
Okay.
So depending on how each time you go down to a shipwreck, you know, you can try and work out how to get as much loot back up to your ship as possible, and if you get as much loot back, then you can flog it. And but you're also sort of having to pay for your next expedition.
Oh, that's good. So maybe a bit of like SteamWorld Dig sort of thing, where so it's not just you get stuck in a ship and you have to get out or you'll die, and that's the whole game. It's that you can choose different shipwrecks, and it's getting in and out and gathering enough stuff. And the roguelike cycle comes from the money that you get each time. You can buy better stuff and presumably unlock different things that are available between full run-throughs, like full games. And
then the unfortunate part that comes across is, you know, the occasional, like, you know, natural disaster, or the occasional natural occurrence of a shark coming by, or a giant octopus. And
well, I think part of it should be then
even
actual descent,
pirates.
Yeah, the descent and ascent from the ships is part of it then. And look, maybe when you first start, literally all you've got is your base scuba gear, so you just can't swim that deep.
Yeah. So you're looking for the cheaper sort of expeditions to go out on that are like only 50 foot deep.
Yeah. Yeah. But as you get money, you get, like, you know, maybe some of those little, you know, those jet things that they hold on to make you swim faster. Those little light jet things. And obviously later on you get full on submarines and stuff to get down there and have, you know, an air supply and a way to get really deep.
Yeah, so I like the idea that later game sort of stuff, you can actually go down into, like, you can find the ruins of Atlantis and that sort of stuff. Right,
yeah, you could go really far. And as long as you've got the tools that you need. And again, in a Spelunky kind of way, you know, the end game is this totally out there thing where you have to use all the different tools at your disposal and the skills that you've learned by playing, you know, 500 games. I like this. I actually really like this. There's a lot of elements of different roguelikes that I like in there. That's really cool.
But I also like the fact that you've got a goal there that you can sort of see. But if you're taking, like, the cheapest sort of jobs, well, your upkeep of your boat and you know, finding the next shipwreck is getting more expensive and more expensive. So you have to start taking more risks. Otherwise, you risk going bankrupt, and that's the end of the game.
Yeah, well, I like that.
Or you suffocate, and that's the end of the game. And
yeah, exactly. A lot of risk reward stuff around. Yeah, you could just do cheap, easier wrecks and missions for a while, but yeah, you might not actually be able to afford to keep your boat running or keep buying oxygen or whatever. But
I mean, I'm seeing this goes, even to far extremes, sort of like adding UFOs and yes, the Atlantis sort of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Having fun with
some random. Obviously, it's all randomly generated, so I think you could. At the beginning, you're just exploring known wrecks, and maybe there's sort of a bit of a network of divers who have jobs that you can take or something. But later on, you start getting the tools or being able to afford the tools where you can search for unknown wrecks in deeper waters.
Yep.
And that's where you start finding some of the real cool shit.
Maybe a risk reward sort of thing is that you can pay for like a world-renowned explorer to actually find the wreck for
right.
You pay him a commission to find it.
Yep.
But they may just find something that you're not going to get anything out of. But the chance of the wreck having something a bit better is just a much higher percentage than if you just get I don't know, Captain Kate Capshaw or whatever to
who is that
to find.
What do I know?
Maybe from Monkey Island too.
Oh, right.
And a glass bottom boat.
That's right. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I like kind of the different phases in there of like finding the wreck, stocking up your boat and improving your boat, upgrading your gear, the actual swim down where, you've got like sharks and things to deal with, and just managing your oxygen a bit and stuff. And then the actual ship exploration with having to, use your tools to figure out how to safely get through the ship. And some places you have to swim through, some places you walk through because there's air pockets and stuff in there. But then,
and having to navigate your ship through coral reefs and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, you could do some
cool
good
stuff.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to make it too complicated. Each one should be relatively simple, and I think the meat of it should probably be the exploration when you're in the ship itself. But no, I really like how that could all mesh together. Yeah, it's cool.
I like the idea of being able to maybe do an open sea sort of exploration.
Yeah, I think it would be. Like, again, procedurally generate the fucking ocean, put islands out there, and like maybe, you're more likely, you can put a lot of rules in place for where shipwrecks would occur, and the players can then sort of learn some of those rules. So it's more likely that you'll find, this sort of wreck near this sort of island chain or something because of, trading in the 1650s or I don't know.
That really sounds like a pretty fleshed out game.
I know. I want to sit down and write a fucking full design document for it. Just see how all those different things really would fit together.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
I like it.
Trevor Monkey.
Yeah. Reveal.
Odd? Yes.
Okay, an odd reveal. What sort of game involves a reveal? I mean, obviously, some sort of narrative game, there's a reveal at the end.
Like a really dodgy ripoff of Deal or No Deal.
Reveal or No Reveal?
Has a reveal.
Those porno Tetris games, they have a reveal. You know those ones? The more lines you get some titties.
Are we that far back in the 90s now?
Yeah, exactly. It's my favourite genre.
This one's got an animated GIF.
7 frames.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Because I'm trying to think of what type of reveal it would be, and then how we can make it odd.
Okay, so...
Oh, maybe it's a game set in Oddworld.
Okay.
It's in Abe's Odyssey.
Abe's and Munch's Odyssey.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a rather large series.
Yeah, there are all sorts of plans for that. And I think, is there a movie? I think there's still stuff going on with that general universe. But yeah, we haven't done much in that, so that could be cool.
That could be cool. Another way that you can sort of go is like the President of the United States reveals to the world something odd about the world, which is actually that it has been under alien control, and in fact, we are aliens to the planet.
Okay, let's do both of them. All right, I like that narrative little thing. Yeah, I like the idea of a reveal that sort of changes life as we know it, or at least our perception of ourselves and the world. So, all right, so what was your idea that we're all actually aliens? So they've discovered that life did not actually develop on Earth. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so, human life didn't actually develop on this planet. It turns out that ancient humans who originally settled Atlantis, yes, I'm going back to that well, they actually, they've got...
How do wells work in Atlantis? Do they have oxygen wells? Or what else is in a well that they have to...
Okay.
Sorry.
God, you made me lose my train of thought, you bastard. No, so we find Atlantis. There's, a really, really good library there that actually tells how human life originally arrived on this planet, and it was through massive ships.
And Atlantis is one of them.
Happens to be one of them. Yeah, it just it lost all buoyancy and sunk.
Was this not the plot of Stargate Atlantis?
Now I think about it, yes, it is, but still.
Just thinking, this feels very familiar. Yeah, okay. Well, let's shift it a little bit away from that, though.
Yeah.
If we can. Now that I've said that. Yeah. Okay. So, are we talking that sort of? Are we talking like high technology Atlantis? Then I guess if it's a spaceship, we basically are. Is there some explanation for how? What happened to humans then that they reverted to such primitive technology?
Well, we could take a leaf out of Star Trek and just make it a virus, or
or a different species of aliens,
or the early Atlanteans. They were really, really horny, and they just started fucking all the local wildlife.
Right. So what it actually is there were great apes previously, but the point that humans diverged from great apes was when the Atlanteans came down and fucked them.
Yep.
So we're not completely alien.
No, but we're 95% alien.
Right. Because they have such strong DNA, it just expresses more
opposable thumbs. That's where they came from.
More than that of an ancient chimpanzee. All right. So, but then did all the actual Atlanteans die? Or are there some left down there?
I think there are still some left.
Have they been... they presumably...
in cryogenic stasis.
Okay, because I was going to say they presumably don't live that long. So yeah, we've got two choices. They've either been cryogenically frozen or they've had their own society down there this whole time.
Very, very incestuous society.
Very, very incestuous society. It depends how many there are, whether they could keep up the diversity in the gene pool or not. And also they are now banned from bringing apes down there. Which is why no humans have ever been down there, because they count us as apes.
They just get
it's the forbidden fruit.
All those alien abductions.
Yeah, and the opposable thumbs now. I mean, look what we have managed to do with those sexually. Because you said that's how we got them, so... Oh, wait. Yep. No, but you're saying we got the opposable thumbs from the Atlantean DNA.
Yes.
I kind of like the idea that the apes already had opposable thumbs, the Atlanteans didn't. And that's why humans have opposable thumbs. And also that's why they were so
freaking hilarious.
That's why they were also into the
Trying
apes.
to see them grab stuff.
Yeah. They're trying to pick stuff up. They have to like do this weird like finger crossing kind of pinching thing.
You see one of them try to pick up a game controller and they've got no opposable thumbs. They go, how the fuck does this work?
So what's the game?
I don't know. I just love the scenario.
The game is a
point-and-click adventure game.
No, it's an Octodad style thing where you have to control each of the four fingers of the Atlanteans. No. Yeah, okay. Like, yeah, I can imagine this being a very The Dig style, like tonal, that sort of tone.
Oh, so super serious.
Point and click. Yeah. Look, I'm serious about how much these Atlanteans like to fuck things with opposable thumbs. They tried koalas, but they have opposable thumbs.
Oh,
right?
God. I just love that we somehow...
Koalas have two opposable thumbs. So that's actually like their unicorn.
It's their Garrel.
Yeah. No one's going to get that. All right. Do you want to actually go down this route any further, or should we click again?
Like
take it seriously, or
yeah, let's take it seriously, like the Dig. Okay, so point and click. How does it get like announced to the world?
Right. So, is this something that the upper echelons of the political world have known for a long time?
Yeah. So I think that each president that's come in has basically been given this this thing to sign that's basically a non-disclosure agreement saying that they
under penalty of death,
under penalty
and
of
being fucked by an Atlantean.
Yeah, and the latest president to come on decides, just to tweet out, a picture of what he's going to sign.
We're not making any references there to anybody.
No.
On purpose? Or
on purpose.
Okay. That they're trying to release this to the world.
Yeah.
In this age of information.
Saying that, he now believes that, this is who they should build a wall around or something like that.
It's okay, we could go down that route. I was more thinking of the world deserves to know where we came from and, but you're saying there are aliens out there and we need to destroy them. Or at least.
It turns out that everyone else doesn't have that thought and they want to know more.
They want to meet them. Yep.
And so maybe it's,
so does that begin like a worldwide hunt for Atlantis? Do they know where it is?
Maybe the reason why they don't know where it is that it actually travels.
Okay.
Like it is actually like it's still powered. It's just underwater, so it's lost its buoyancy. But it's like a submarine, so it can like travel the
ground. I kind of like the idea that it like walks along the ocean floor like a crab, just slowly moving around. It could be like attached to the side of a, underwater cliff, a reef. No, I like the idea that finding this out sort of sparks a worldwide, like the space race, but for like ocean technology. Like,
okay,
and it's a race between different nations to be the ones to find Atlantis and make first contact with them. And explain who we are, or find out if they know who we are. Make an alliance with them. So
you've played the Dig,
yes.
In that you've got sort of like they set up the story in like a very basic sort of video thing, and then they sort of skip over all the things leading up to it, up to them taking off and going to check out this asteroid.
Yeah.
Well, in this game, you have basically in the intro sequence, it's talking about how the president tweeted out this photo and all this sort of stuff, and it goes through, and it's sort of like this is X number of years later.
Okay,
and you see the character who's a young girl who's now she realizes, science is the way forward, so she goes and you see her studying science, and now she's a scientist who's just created this new technology, and she's going to again travel underwater just like our previous game, but looking for Atlantis.
Yeah. Okay, I like that idea a lot because that makes sense. Like, yeah, this information gets out there. Yeah, this girl's like, I don't know, 11 at the time that it happens.
Yeah.
And then that inspires her to go into science and learn. And as that's going on, like the rest of the world is competing and starting to ramp up all this like submarine technology and underwater technology and like containment fields for water and, oxygen, what do you call it, reclaiming and different stuff.
Yep.
And all the while she's
the technology that she's come up with is like this amazing like compound that
like pulls
negates pressure.
Okay.
So basically it's so like the deeper it goes into water, the more the pressure gets spread out over the entire like surface of the ship, so that there's literally not as much pressure crushing it, so she can go to new
depths.
They can go to new depths of the ocean.
Okay. So basically it just allows them to build much more lightweight submarines.
Yeah.
That can be, I don't know, carry more stuff. Yeah. Something like that. It lets them go deeper. It lets them do more stuff.
I find it so weird that we've just come up with two games that deal with underwater stuff and pressure, but in totally different ways.
It's just our theme for the week. Yeah, I like that a lot. And I like this idea of her being this newcomer to the space, because it's been going on around her for a decade, right? Like she's maybe 25 now or something. Yep. Like 14 years have passed. They still haven't found Atlantis. And so we get to see the world.
And there's people who don't believe it anymore. And
that's it. There's factions that don't believe it. There's factions who believe they're gods, and that finding them is blasphemy. Like, we get to see this world sort of having processed this information and spat it out and changed the culture in certain ways. And so, yeah, she's on the side of science and of logic and of rationality. And she's the one who eventually, obviously, finds them.
I like the idea that she finds Atlantis sort of, within the first third of the game.
Yeah, I think so.
But then when she gets there, all she finds there is like the library. There's pretty much the entire civilization is somewhat broken down, and there's literally no one there. She finds like their catalog in the library and that sort of stuff, and that's how you unlock information about how, when they first came here, they didn't have opposable thumbs, so
so they procreated with the local wildlife. They found the most intelligent species, and
I just like the idea of her going, "Ew, these guys are so fucked in the head."
Yeah,
and basically, I like kind of like the idea that it's all talking about these male aliens, and then she finally finds something that like the females had actually put aside, and it's all the really smart sciencey stuff.
Right, so the men get there and just fuck apes.
Yep.
And the women are just like, oh my god, men, let's actually do some science.
Yep.
Okay, so does she eventually track down like a cryogenically frozen Atlantean woman or something?
Yeah, I like that. It's sort of like that becomes sort of like her guide to where they may have gone to next.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the last third is then having the Atlantean woman as a companion, and maybe it's trying to get her, like, make sure she doesn't fall into the hands of these other factions, like the religious nuts or the government, or maybe she's trying to get back to her people or something, right? Like,
so the middle third that you've got there is basically your time on Atlantis, where you can explore like the civilization.
And maybe you're down there with some other characters, so you've got some dialogue you can have and stuff. Or
so
either that, or
you've got your own team.
Yeah, and maybe they stay in the sub or something, and you're radioing back and forth, and they can help you out in different ways.
I kind of like the idea that you can send teams out into like little areas, and they can go clear.
Yeah, I mean, mate, if we're talking point and click, like the mechanics mostly need to be around narrative. But I feel like you could have one or two people come with you, and then there's someone on the sub or something, so that like some of the puzzle solving could be, find a way to move something so the sub can get into a space, fill this area with water so the sub can get in and like shine a light somewhere to do something,
mm-hmm.
That sort of thing.
I kind of like the idea that we're going to take some of our ideas from our web series Point Click Repeat
mm-hmm.
of. We don't mind, deaths occurring in games, just as long as it brings you back to,
yes.
back, automatically does an autosave and basically says, don't do that.
That was fun to watch, wasn't it? Don't do it again.
Yeah, but don't basically have some way of actually learning how you could have solved this particular puzzle,
right? So
without actually
giving hints,
having to have died.
As the Space Quest series do, basically giving hints via you dying. But not punishing you as much for it as those games did.
Yeah, but not having the only thing being a...
No, there definitely need to be other hints. But yeah, I agree that failing at something, possibly fatally, is an acceptable way to give hints as to how it should be solved, as long as you don't actually punish them for it.
And you know what I like? The fact that you could actually have an in-game reason for you coming back to life.
Oh.
In that their technology... automatically brings you back to life or, heals you through some sort of nanomachines or something like that.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. An in-universe way to be able to do that is much better. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's
I was just thinking about it. And so, your second third is you finally get to this cryopod.
At the end of the second third, yeah.
At the end of the second third.
Yeah.
But it's one of the first things you see at the start of the second third.
Yeah, so
you sort of know where you're wanting to get to.
Or maybe you even, maybe the end of the second third is when you finally manage to trigger it and wake her up. Yep. So you're spending at least part of that middle section aware of what's in there, but not able to get to it yet or activate it.
That's awesome.
Cool. And then, the end is basically... a bit more action-based and learning a bit more about the past as you're sort of trying to help. I'm almost picturing a bit of an E.T. thing where just in the sense of you've got this group of people now because, all the people on your sub, or maybe there's a betrayal. Maybe one person in your team ends up trying to capture the Atlantean to sell off or become famous.
Is a religious fanatic or something like that.
Yeah, they infiltrated your team. And so, part of it is that betrayal. You end up killing them. And then it's this sort of thing, the rest of your team trying to smuggle this Atlantean to the surface to maybe there's something else. Maybe there's another ship that's functional somewhere. The government has it or something. Area 51.
I kind of like the idea of the religious fanatical person or whatever, sabotaging the ship. So you have to work with what's down there to try and get to the next part. So you could actually have that. This is maybe,
they sabotage
the first part in the series.
They sabotage your sub, you mean, or the Atlantean ship?
Your sub. So you're actually sort of stuck down there until you can work out another way of getting out.
Okay, yeah, you have to use the Atlantean technology then to Yep.
Which surprisingly, the Atlantean technology is very similar to your own technology that you came up with.
Oh, I see. So there's some genetic memory or something.
Yeah. And
that's
being
why
able to bring that sort of thing back.
Right. I like this a lot. That's cool.
So do I.
Yeah.
I just looked at how long we've been going.
I think we've done 3 games. All right. Well, let's get a 4th done. At least.
But the thing is, I've really enjoed these last 2 ideas.
Look, it's been a while since we've been this in depth, gone this in depth on some games. So I'm happy to be doing that. It's nice. It's good.
And look, we did get a little bit stupid in that one, but then we brought it back to actually have real in-game reasons for this.
Real in-game reasons for them to be fucking apes. Yes.
Exactly.
All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh, shit. I haven't got it up. Hang on.
Get it up, Trevor. Take some bits on Viagra.
Completion.
Dying.
Oh, God.
So you know how when people have sex...
I can't finish unless there's some dying involved.
Yeah, but he doesn't mean like death. He means like when you dye clothes. He can't come unless he's changing the colour of something. It's weird.
Oh, shit.
Alright, I think let's just click again.
You got nothing for dying in completion?
No, I was going to go somewhere, but I think comments on your sexual proclivities is enough for that one. Although the next word I got was pork. So
location,
pork location. Well, I think we done this before. I think we did a school game where you had to like to do the prank with the four pigs. Yeah, find the pork location. Maybe this is a butchery game. Oh, we did that already too. Fuck. Maybe
we did the butchery game, but I think that a lot of that had to do with roadkill, though.
That's true. But still, like it'd be a bit too similar. Maybe you play as a pig.
Okay. Pork location. I'm thinking it's the new version of echolocation. But pork location.
Okay. So this is how a pig finds its way around? Or this is a way that humans find their way around by throwing pigs or bacon at things.
Okay. So it's a world in which basically truffle pigs have become truffle has become the new gold.
Okay.
And so you've got to be able to identify pigs that can sniff out truffles.
Right.
So I can see that maybe you've already got a prized pig who can sniff out the best truffles, and someone's stolen that pig, and you've got to go off and find or something.
So is this like a breeding game? Are you breeding these pigs?
I was thinking, somewhat action adventure or RPG type of thing.
Okay, but involving pigs. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Based around a truffle-based economy.
A truffle-based economy.
As I said, truffle is the new gold.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it's a world of anthropomorphic pigs. That's why the economy is truffles.
Okay.
You don't have to agree with that.
But
I kind of like the idea of creating...
And.
Yeah, I know. I kind of like the idea of creating an RPG in a world of pigs.
Yep.
With a truffle economy. Now, It could still be that your prized truffle-sniffing pig has been stolen, but it's actually your son.
Oh, God. I thought you were actually going to go, it's actually your prized human.
Oh. We could do that. It's your son's pet human. Okay.
I kind of like the idea that humans in this world are like pig-sized, and pigs are like human-sized.
And pigs wear clothes, and the humans are always naked.
Yep.
I like this a lot.
And female pigs are always, going on about how weird it is that all the pigs are going on about how weird it is that like the humans only have 2 nipples.
Yeah. Yes. They only have one, maybe 2 babies at a time. Occasionally 3. It's weird. Do they also eat the humans?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They all love that back bacon. Hairy back bacon. All right, so...
Yep. I'm loving this. I'm loving it.
I feel like you could get some really good artwork. Like I'm kind of picturing it in like an illustrative style. I don't know. I'm picturing these really classic illustrations of these human-sized pigs and these naked pig-sized humans. I want to learn to.
Now I'm seeing it as like
oil paintings, like an oil. I feel like that's something that would be in a fucking oil painting.
I'm looking forward to when you go to see the king and he's got like a teacup human.
Yes. Yes, I like that. So, did we figure out the gameplay? Not really. RPG, right.
RPG.
Okay, so yeah, like full on RPG,
So I'm
going
seeing,
around,
like,
you're
Fable.
exploring this. Yeah, okay. Okay. So is it humorous though, or is it serious?
Serious.
I feel like I feel like these things are always funnier when they're serious. When we take them seriously. Okay, but like Fable, just in that it's sort of not a super in-depth RPG then.
Yeah,
somewhat.
It's more around the story
and a bit of combat, and
a bit of combat. There can be some relationship things, i.e., what Fable 2 did. You can have like your dodgier pet human that can sort of run around and dig up and find.
Right, of course, because I love that. I love the idea of you get your different pet humans and stuff. Like that's part of your upgrade path. You can either upgrade them or trade them in for better ones or whatever.
But but maybe a local warlord has kidnapped your prized truffle.
A local
truffle sniffer.
Hog lord. No, that doesn't quite work.
Yes. Call him a hog lord.
A hog lord? Yeah. So he's the one who's taken your truffle sniffing human.
Yep. Worth
its weight in truffles.
Yep. Gotta love me some fungi.
Fungi Cole Medina.
I guess that's the name of the episode.
I was just thinking
oh shit, that's awesome.
All right. Well, I think I think the rest writes itself on that one, really. Yeah, pork location.
But unlike Fable, like there is actually like a really, really good boss battle at the end of it.
Right.
Because I don't know whether you remember the end of Fable 2, but that thing sucked.
Oh. No, I don't. I have played it. But
basically, I think you had to choose between like your dog dying or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Really fucking Molyneux tried to make it all emotional.
Yes. I was really enjoying it up until that point.
Yeah, I have mixed...
Oh, I get to choose. Does my dog die?
Mixed thoughts about those games. I don't know. They had some quality stuff. But anyway, I think we shall leave it there.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thanks for pitching clicks at me this week, Trevor.
Yeah, there were some good ones in the 4 that we did.
We did 4. Anyway, okay. If you want to find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, we are Bitstormcast on all of those. We have a Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Bitstorm, and we're on Podchaser, podchaser.com/Bitstorm. Rate, review, put us in the list soon. It's coming.
And we're on iTunes, where you can also rate and review, also subscribe there. So do that. We want you to subscribe there. Check out our website, bitstormcast.com. I'd like to thank our friends at the AGPN, the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. Search for hashtag AGPN on Twitter or the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network on Facebook. And finally, we'd like to thank us from Kuradust for the song Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure.
So, thank you again for joining us on Bitstorm this week. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And we're getting fungi with it.